What up, Earthbound Army? Hopefully, everyone's having an awesome day, night, noon, morning, wherever you are in this COVID wrecked planet of ours. I hope you're staying safe. Now, in this video, I want to talk about the Nathaniel physics video that was dropped this week. You know, what did we expect? He talked about the environmental effects, the physics involved in the buggy interacting with the environment. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the Jaw Gaming video where he released, I guess, a video poking the Earth2 community a little bit. And Nathaniel was saying he created something really similar, I suppose, and really simple within 10 minutes. In the Unity engine, and he just said, well, look, I can do it too. And we'll take a look at that. Obviously, it's not an apples to apples comparison, but it's funny nonetheless. And then I want to talk about cryptocurrency in terms of Earth2 and what that means for the value of the E-dollar. You know, right now, E-dollar is 1-to-1, one essence coin, or whatever you want to call it. One E-dollar, Earth dollar, is worth 1 USD. Eventually, when they do flip it and create that token, that currency, what are they going to evaluate the Earth coin as, and what that means for you? What do you need to think about? Now, this is all pure speculation, just my thoughts of a rambling madman, a rambling idiot on the internet. Don't listen to me. I have no financial experience. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Okay, so first thing I want to do is take a look at the physics video that was released by Nathaniel. So the video starts off with the buggy driving, and you can see as it slides and tumbles, it's affecting the grass, right? It's flattening the grass, and I think that's what Nathaniel was trying to show us, the physics in the environmental landscape. And as you can see, as it's driving, the draw distances in the distance there, the horizon, isn't too bad, but then there's some popping. You'll see some popping before it jumps over the ramp. You can see some of the trees popping in the background. Okay, and as it tumbles, you know, I don't know what specifically he wanted us to see, because we don't see the gravel kind of come up from the ground. The rocks look like they're flattening, but I'm not too sure. He runs over some mushrooms and they don't seem to be impacted too much, so I wasn't too sure what he was trying to show us. I know he wasn't trying to show us his driving skills or the buggy's design or anything. It was just a placeholder. He said it was just an asset, but yeah, I wasn't completely convinced at what the physics. When he crashed the car and he hit the car again, I wasn't too sure what he was trying to show us, because as he drove, again, like I said, the rocks didn't seem to look like they sunk into the ground too much. So I wasn't too sure what he was trying to display with the physics there within that video. But nonetheless, it was a great video. I mean, I enjoyed it. Progress is progress, and I like seeing that there's a game kind of feature to it, even though it has nothing to do with Essence, nothing to do with Phase 2. Nonetheless, I enjoyed the gameplay video. Now, let's take a look at Jaw Gaming's video and him talking about, you know, how he pretty much made a version of that video on the Unity store. So here we see him playing with the package manager, and he's gonna choose something, and he says he pretty much just chose the Grand Canyon. So there's packs that you can buy, and he's chosen the Grand Canyon. And essentially he says he did this simply within 10 minutes. And, you know, the devs probably are looking at this and perhaps they're a little bit offended. Jaw Gaming says he's a hobbyist. He's been playing around with the Unity engine for about a year and a half. So, and he said it's quite simple to make. Probably taking the piss out of Earth2 and the dev team and everything else. You know, it's not a one-to-one comparison, obviously. There's no greenery and it doesn't look that good, and I don't think the physics kind of match up as well compared to Nathaniel's video, but, you know, I get his point. I can see what he's trying to do here. I can see what he's trying to say, you know. So it was an interesting video, nonetheless. It's a talking point, a discussion point. A lot of the naysayers will say, obviously we're not comparing apples to apples here. He's literally just taken packages from the Unity store and dumped it and created something similar and said, hey, I can do this too. Anyway, worth a look. So take a look at this video. You might enjoy it, might not, who knows. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about next was cryptocurrency in terms of Earth2. If we can all agree that Earth2 is going to introduce cryptocurrency into their game, okay, we've seen the Etherscan link in the settings menu. We've heard Shane talk about NFTs with regards to the Easter egg hunt, all kind of the big virtual real estate games currently on the market, Sandbox and Decentraland, they're all cryptocurrency based. Okay, so if that's the case, and we can safely assume that Earth2 is going to go down that pathway and eventually at some point in time, we need to think about this. Right now, one Earth dollar is equal to 1 USD. So it's 1-to-1 value, right? So if you're flipping and you made profit, it's a good idea to probably take some profits right now, because eventually, whenever it is, I don't know when they're going to do it, but eventually when they switch the Earth token live and it stops becoming 1-to-1, then that's when you may see the value of your dollar, your portfolio, go down. Okay, and there is this terms and conditions here that says we reserve the right in the future to convert your holdings of virtual land blah 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 to an equivalent value of a cryptocurrency that we may create in the future. Any conversion would be conducted at a valuation reasonably determined by us. Okay, and that's important because right now, like I said, 1-to-1, Decentraland, which is one of the bigger, or if not the biggest, virtual real estate trading games at the moment, at launch, right, their token was 0.01 cent. Right, obviously it's pumped at certain times. It peaked at what, $1.50. So yes, your Earth $2 can pump and it can go to $1. It can go past $2, $3, $4. Who knows, right? The moon is the limit. But at launch, unless you're holding long term, once they switch the Earth token on, it may launch at like 0.1 cent or something like that. So here we see the trajectory. So January 2017 or December 2017, it took them nearly quite a while, 2, 3, 4 years before it actually reached its heights. And now with the market crash, it's back down to 71 cents. So even now, if the Earth2 follow this trend, it still won't be 1-to-1. So once they switch that Earth2 token on, you got to be mindful. This is not financial advice. I'm just an idiot on the internet just thinking about stuff. But once they switch that token on and it becomes live, I'm very doubtful that it will be 1-to-1 anymore. So if you can make a profit now during this period by flipping and you manage to sell your tiles, it might be an idea to take profits off the top, because once they switch this on, unless you're in for the long term, and I mean long term, right, like 2017 to 2021, unless you're in it for the long term, yeah, you might just be parking your Earth2 tokens there for a while just before you see the price come back to a 1-to-1 value. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on the cryptocurrency, how they're going to introduce it. And if you compare it to Sandbox as well, Sandbox is at 29 cents. Sandbox is one of the relatively newer one. I think it's newer than Decentraland at least. And here you go. When it launched back in August 2020, 0.057, right? So at its peak, its highest, it never reached $1. It never reached a dollar. So the token Sand for the Sandbox virtual real estate game has not reached $1, never 1-to-1. So just be mindful, guys. Right now, one eCoin is worth 1 USD. I'm not sure if it's going to get any better than that for some time. If Earth2 explodes like many of us hope it will, you know, then he may be worth $5 an E coin. Who knows? You know, that is ridiculous speculation. I really don't want to play that game. But logically speaking, I can definitely, well, not definitely, but I suspect that at launch, you know, the equivalent value, right, the conversion once that's activated, and the valuation reasonably determined by us, it's not going to be one essence equal one USD. That's just my thoughts. So take profits, guys. Take profits off the top if you can manage to sell some of your land. So with that said, that is the end of the video. I just wanted to get that out there. My rambling thoughts, the rambling thoughts of an idiot YouTuber. So with that said, guys, have a good night, and I'll see you next time.